Today is day 4, March 2023. We will have our conversation. It's shaky. So, I think that is the second one with the International Criminal Court, considering the efforts made and the independent activity. All things offered by free will and goodwill and free conscience. We could observe and having this is very summary that the pandemic crime goes by purpose against all things including mankind, and the solution to avoid procedural consequence or ethical consequence goes even considering a third great war, which put things in a mess and of course will reduce the capacity to apply the consequence. Oriented program value corrupted -1, and the range of activity that are illegal in general is named violation. Can be against the person, can be against the institution, or even the interest, which puts the future of next generation affected. Sometimes they don't have the right to born. We had this model before as the oriented program frequency 55, which is the Brazil, corrupted as conjuncture until the integration as global system 199 budget or conjuncture or elements as macro environment having used at the financial system by corruption -1, trading, observing A equal B equal C, Venn diagram, pattern interaction, pattern integration. The integration sets hierarchical level, but indeed they are all equal by failure -1. We will erase this board. We set here the perception as collinearity, which is a concept on economy and econometrics using static control and mathematics at the economics. The evaluation as economy by value carried through the economical system. Indeed, you present the financial argument on it as records at your account. If you are unable to have the transparency at things you did represented by numbers at the financial system, I think that is a failure. If it goes in all public institution inside the conjuncture, it's an integrated failure, and the conjunctural record worth nothing. Coming from the subsidiary record, this conjuncture is a joke, a piece of shit, worthless, proven by facts. We are having March this month, I would say, and the effort here is quite simple. We're having the judicial proof and the mobilization of international system, and having the bank account as a judicial account with permanent open data with the incomes sourced at my legal right as compensation. I did an independent effort and offered a complaint against the strike made at my purpose against the crime. If goes at public corruption now is organized crime, it will be against my effort, and you will use all strength of this criminal use of architecture and conjuncture or institutional and state power to put this effort down, unveiling a scam as fake records based on this result. After have this, which is a worthless conjuncture, to put my effort down, or anyone, any other people as effort down or person, and threats we all by this, confirming the event notice as threat against we all on Article 144 of the Brazilian Constitution. The security is a right that we all can claim, Brazilians or foreigners. I don't want to keep my Brazilian citizenship because it's denied, as you could observe in real time observation and follow-up when I request the transparency about the public contracts or records, or when I do the international cooperation and suffer consequences by this, or when I have my social media and all elements related with me changed, modified by violation of my accounts and other things to set a new perception about my personality, which is a civil right. Going by record as public unable to present it, you violated an extra civil right. And we confirm this by the request on Article 5 guarantee number 33 as international guarantee of this international credit as a moral entity cornering you all, and you all will pay every single penny. The flow as conditional 1% first 3 trillion, considering all elements, the charge remains and will be paid by the owner of this entire paper as 37 trillion estimative with duplicity of moment as financial penalty to allow the financial research. As you could observe, we have this model here, kind of the limit as 33, extended as 4 trillion, duplicity to have the research. And we did this, it's explained before. Take a look on the social media. We will have today from the point we stopped, which is like this: International Criminal Court. I have my conjuncture. My conjuncture is divided on public investment system, on corporate investment system, with failures inside the conjuncture. In the way we have not reliable records, indeed, we represented the financial system as investment system, public or corporate. But if they two both are kind of obtaining the advantage and acting as a coalition, indeed, we are observing that if my conjuncture A has a, division as segment, which is the same thing in different moments, and they are not reliable by this thing here, indeed I will observe that the association of both as coalition or collinear thing will give me the perception as exponential risk, even going as a linear process as the annual budget. By failure since 1988, we can observe that since 2014 with global events, all event as year by year will have this behavior, and little by little this thing here will, this curve which has the start as linear, but in the second, before you have started the budget by things made before, you will observe that the exponential behavior starts to run as a conjuncture despite distributed as a failure in each department or segment. And we can observe that this gives me a frequency as the A, which implies the driver, and in general we will consider that is a legal driver by the failure at conjuncture with a repeated decimal as period, the A, and comma we will consider the M. This indeed give me the notation as criminal driver with criminal activity as factorial behavior or variance of criminal scams. The public corruption allowed you to do the exploitation, the white collar crime, the fraud, the continuity of things, and it's like it is, the variance. We will consider as police, and the first thing, not consider the period. Since you give me the cooperation at procedural judicial system having the case, or the Court of Justice having the case about this is related with their interest. The second situation as collective data is having at source criminal environment Brazil with peers related with at budget traced by the corruption on this area, according with the distribution of gains at this area that put things so large that is covering the capacity to do the payment, transferring this to the international system, setting stability and risk. Its named systemic risk was complained of 2014 by IMF, UNODC, and economic aid agencies around the globe. Second moment, asking at source by guarantee number 33 on Article 5 international guarantee that you are unable to do because you didn't. And we will observe that the situation here can be something positive as confirming my events, or can be something, negative, because I'm considering that two drivers sourcing the collective data as procedure are legal. But if they had failures on it, the failures will have probably here, because I'm having the cross-cut between both. And the cross-cut can give me the perception, confirm things or not. You can search my credit, for instance, as a moral entity by the request made at source, or using, the International Criminal Court and the Judicial Court, for instance. This situation will give me two circles here that I will put with other colors and finish the presentation. And I will consider that is the positive one as internal value, or the negative one as internal value. The most promiscuous area will be here, sharing the cognitive bias at the information at source, or the information as procedural or court of justice, considering yet the continuity of this failure or this accuracy even more accurate by the cross-cut, accurate continuity of failure. And here we will for sure have the pandemic interest as mobilization of fake data and information to continue criminal scams by criminal purpose on institutions affecting the right of next generation as interests that do not have, in many cases, the right to be born. Violation against the person, the credit as effort, and the interest considering even next generation. This model is that model, as you could observe, that you do the failure considering the redistribution inside regular areas. You do the failure considering the distribution of regular area as coalition, circling your activity, transferring the illicit advantage with the overpriced contract or period inside your number as repeated thing, to a situation here that now puts the money back on your conjuncture or specific segments at your market, changing the balance of the market, the pace of economy, and having as guideline the premises as trust, especially if it's oriented to essential needs like energy, oil, health system, communication, and other. All with problems. Any question? I bet you don't. And you can present your information. If you offer this, will worth nothing because it's already made. You must bring something new to obtain a privilege. I don't like you.